This is a video of me deadlifting 405 for the first time in my life. This video was taken 1 year ago in February 2024. Since then, I haven't deadlifted that much weight since. I kind of went through 2024 kind of yo-yo dieting, and I also did a cut, so I lost a lot of my strength. But now, it's finally time to go on a proper bulk for the first time in a very long time. You may not know me yet, but I'm Jordan. I'm a normal guy who likes to lift heavy things to make the bad voices go away. And these are the 3 things that I'm going to do on my next bulk that will hopefully make me more successful than I was previously. Now let's get into the first thing that I'm going to focus on. Number 1 is actually eating. Now, growing up, I was actually a pretty skinny guy. I always needed to eat more food than a lot of people in order to gain weight. This can be seen as a blessing or a curse depending on who you ask, but sometimes it's not the best when you have to eat a ton of food. That's why the first thing I need to do on this bulk is to make sure that I actually eat enough. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean I'm gonna eat everything I see. I mean, if I do that, I'm gonna end up looking like a bowling ball. And as much as I want the Danny DeVito build, I don't know if I'm quite ready for it yet. For this, I will be using Macro Factor. That's just personally my choice of app that I use to track my macros. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great app for tracking your macros. Now, I'm not sponsored, however, so you can use whatever you want. If you want to use MyFitnessPal as well, I've also used that in the past, and it's worked pretty well. Although, Macro Factor, if you want to reach out, I won't be upset about it. So now we are on the path to eating a diet that will hopefully make me thicker and stronger. And as I gain more weight, I'm sure calories will also increase. And I just have to make sure that I continually increase my calories as my weight increases so that I'm keeping up and that I don't stagnate. On to number 2. The second thing that I'm going to focus on here is improving my mobility. I've always found mobility for me can be very boring. To me, it's like watching paint dry. I have a very difficult time sticking with mobility because of my enjoyment with it. With weightlifting, I can do it all day. It doesn't matter. I enjoy it so much. It's something that I really love doing, but mobility has always been that kind of thing that I kept pushing back because I didn't really want to focus on it, and I had a tough time really sticking with it. However, I really need to do it because I feel like the Tin Man who needs to be oiled up. I noticed during my lifting that I struggled to get into a good position, and that can really cause me to not get into the strongest position for my squat and my deadlift especially. So I really need to focus on making sure that I work on that mobility so I can get into a strong position. Also, part of this is to make sure that I can get stronger, because in order to build muscle, I need to continually get stronger, make sure that the weight's increasing. If I don't have that mobility in order to get stronger, then we could be running into a bunch of issues, and then I could stagnate and all my bulk will just mostly turn into fat, which is not ideal. So I really need to make sure that I'm mobile enough to get into those strong positions, increase the weight in squat, bench, and deadlift especially. I will finally treat my mobility training with the same intensity and respect that I treat my weightlifting, so that I am constantly improving on a weekly basis in order to get better, making sure that my mobility is also increasing and getting better with my weightlifting as well. Maybe one day I'll be that person that can finally hit that super deep squat I've always wanted to. It might take a lot of time, but I'm hoping. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. So one of the final things that I'm going to be focusing on during this bulk is making sure that I am training harder. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to take every set to failure. I mean, I already take my entire life to failure, so I won't have the energy for that, but I'll make sure that the last set of every exercise I'll be taking to failure when I can. I got to make sure that it's also safe to do so. Obviously, I don't want to go to failure on bench and then guillotine myself, because obviously death is not good for gains. So we want to be safe, but I do want to start taking more sets to failure. Now, I will admit that for most of my lifting career, I probably haven't trained as hard as I should. So I really want to make sure that going into this bulk, that I'm training as hard as I can in order to get the most gains out of it. Make sure that I'm putting those calories that I'm eating to use and I'm getting better each week. The big thing to remember is you have to train hard to get hard. Well, that's it for my first real human video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if there's anything you would like me to record, please leave it down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to read it and do what I can in order to share my experience with you. If you want to follow along more, please subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is the first real attempt at a YouTube video, so please be nice. But, as always, my mom says I'm handsome, so it's okay.